Let's go to Tom in Wisconsin. You're on Free Talk Live listening to the Mike 92.1. Hey, Tom.
Well, hello, gentlemen. I'm mostly with you on the topic of freedom and liberty and so on. But at some point, this proposition can be carried too far.
And which proposition?
Humans can just be too free.
You mean for the proposition of human freedom?
Well, for instance, yeah, I should be free to dump the used oil from my car anywhere, right?
No, absolutely not. That would be a property violation.
Let's talk about that with you here in a moment, all right? We'll bring you back here, Tom, and we can get into that. It's a good question. Should people be free to destroy? People be free to pollute? Well, I don't think so. 855-450-FREE. You can take control. It's Free Talk Live. Let's go back to Tom. He's in Wisconsin in Madison listening to WXXM. There, the Mike 92.1. Now, Tom, you had called in to bring up some objections to the ideas of liberty or libertarianism or whatever you want to call it. The idea that you should be free to live your life how you want so long as you don't harm anyone else. And that's where the answer, I think, to your first question comes in, where you talked about, well, could I just pour oil all over wherever I want to pour it, on my own? And no, that would be polluting somebody's property, and so therefore that could be, a tort against you, and you could be held liable for that.
You could pour oil all over your property, but it would still likely leach down into the soil and affect other people's property, so that would still be a property rights violation.
Yeah, so, liberty-minded people really respect the idea of other people's property. That's one of the real core tenets of the ideas of freedom, is that, you have rights, and you should be free to do what you want, so long as your actions do not infringe upon the rights of another individual. So that always has to be taken into consideration.
Well, I feel totally lectured now. I live on a street where kids are out playing, and apparently you guys think that I should be able to just drive 90 miles an hour down my street where kids might be out running.
What would make you think that?
And hold on. And I should be able to possess a shoulder-held missile launcher. Is that your belief?
Yeah. I think you should be able to have
the latter, I think you should be able to possess whatever kind of weapon you want to protect yourself.
And
so
you should be completely responsible for the use of that.
Yeah, as long as you aren't endangering people. But as far as driving 90 miles an hour down a residential street, there would likely be rules on private property about how fast you could go.
Maybe even a person with a shoulder-mounted weapon that would blow your car up.
I love you guys. Take care.
Thanks, Tom, for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Look, I think that there does become an issue where, let's say, the classic example of the weapons that people shouldn't be allowed to have is the nuclear weapon, right? What if some, home inventor, tinkerer is building his own nuclear weapon in his garage? Should he be allowed to do that?
Well, first off, what are you going to do about it if they are? Because there's probably a home tinkerer in the United States right now that has built a nuclear weapon.
Maybe.
And you don't know about it, you little worrywart.
That's true. Yeah. What are you going to do?
But let's talk about nuclear weapons. Okay, so a nuclear weapon cannot be employed in a defensive manner. You cannot use it in a targeted manner.
Right.
So
it's wholesale destruction.
It's wholesale destruction. You cannot implement a nuclear weapon, the use of a nuclear weapon, and not hurt innocent people or destroy property that isn't yours. So therefore, I'm of the opinion that a nuclear weapon, there's no reason for it. The very possession of it is a threat against your neighbors. And you have, if you've implemented a threat, if you've issued a threat, as far as I'm concerned, it's violence can be used against you. Force can be used against you at that point.
Yeah, and having a rocket-propelled grenade or some sort of rocket launcher device that
you could simply use it to somebody going 90 miles an hour running kids over on your street.
That you're toting around outside could be upsetting to the neighbors, and so therefore it wouldn't be unreasonable to have deed restrictions that prohibit people from brandishing, certain firearms, if that's the kind of neighborhood you want to live in. You could also live in a neighborhood where everybody's cool with you just taking it out in the backyard and shooting off some rockets. So you never know. There should be all choices.
People are doing target practice where I live every week.
Yep, that's true. We're in New Hampshire, and so it's fairly common here out in the woods.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.